This is a test of the broadcast system. This is only a test. Okay, cool. Let's test the screen. Just to make sure that when I switch out, testing this one. Awesome. Let's go. Let's do it. Oh, that's a perfect time to end. Sweet. All right, I'm here. I really am. I really am here. Thank you guys for joining me today. Hey, stinking thing. There we go. So we're here today. We're gonna do a project. I know it's labeled wrong on Twitch. For heaven's sakes, who's setting up this crap? Really? That's how it's gonna go today. Whatever, I don't care. So I'm actually making a stencil. I'm gonna show you how to make a stencil at home. It's really easy to do, and with just stuff you have around the house. So instead of, like, I will be using the fancy screen today, but I'm not gonna be using like Photoshop or Illustrator or anything like that. I'm gonna be using Word to create a stencil, and get this, we're gonna do it on something that pretty much everyone has around the house, because I'd like to be able to reuse it more than once, right? So we're gonna use a paper plate. This is one's coated in plastic, and I did all this without pushing the record button, so that's awesome. Don't worry, we'll get that later. But start recording. And I will have a shortened version of this up on YouTube later, and I gotta go make sure all my links are working right on Twitch and that stuff. But so yeah, basically we're gonna make this live right now. You're gonna see it happen, and then I'll have a version on YouTube later, and hopefully this will work. It should work. There's no reason why it shouldn't work. But just gonna show you how easy it is to make a stencil, just easy, and have around the house. Basically, today is a good one if you want, like, your name on stuff. So what you're gonna need, your word processor, preferably something coated in plastic or waxed or something like that, so it's not gonna soak up the paint too much, so you could possibly use it. You're gonna use something to cut on, and you're gonna use an X-Acto knife. So, that's about it. There's some tape and glue, maybe, you know, if we get crazy. So, and I'm gonna print it out too, because I'm lazy again. So we're gonna do it. I'm gonna get it done, as they say where I come from. Da 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 da. And comment if you want, because I might actually pay attention. Yeah. You know, part of the joy of streaming is you can sing and nobody complains about it. And if they do, it's just in the chat. So, I mean, complain all you want. All right. Speaking of chat, let's get this done, son. Oh, yeah, we got to switch over. You want to see this live. You don't want to see this on my screen. You want to see it on my other screen. You want to see it on this. So, here we go. This is just Word. So pretty much any Word document creator you want. It's going to be a little different in each of them, but I'm going to show you how to do it in Word. So here's the blank document. We're breaking a brand new one. This one is tall, but if you're in Word, we're going to just take it, go to Layout, and we're going to change the orientation to Landscape. And that will make it so we're in the middle. Now I measured my paper plate, and I think the usable space in the middle is about 5 by 5. So we can do a couple things. I'll go ahead and turn on the rulers. View ruler. And so that'll give me the rulers. I'll zoom out a little bit. Now, because it's 5 by 5, I'm actually going to give myself an outline to stay in today, just to make sure it looks good. Now, I don't want to just start typing, because if I start typing, it's just not going to work out well for anybody. Type in Word documents are, it's not very manipulatable. I can't manipulate it very well. It would be easier in like PowerPoint, so, and definitely easier in Illustrator or Photoshop, but we're gonna do it here. So rather than just start typing, or even before I start that, I'm gonna insert a box to keep me limited in where I can be. So this box right here doesn't matter. Check that out. There he is. I'm going to click on that and hit see more. And then I'm going to put size, height. I'm going to go, that doesn't, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do that. There we go. And just type in 5 by 5. All right. And then, yeah, the height. Yeah, everything's okay. There we go. So there we go. So now I've got a box. Now I'm going to right click on this thing and I'm going to open Format Object. I do that because it's easier to do it from this panel over on the right side than it is to do it from the panels up top. You could easily do this if you do Home and then, see, probably Format on this one. Let's see. Yeah, Format. So I could do it from this one up top, but I prefer the one over on this side, because it gives me more real estate, and because, yeah, whatever. So, all right, I'm going to put no fill on that box, and then once I have no fill, then I have a boundary area. Now I'm going to go in, and I'm going to insert a, if I can find the bloody thing, text box. There we go. I really just want a text box. There we go, and it's going to get a drop down. I'm going to put simple text box. Now this one, I'm going to format it while it's right here. I'm going to say no line. Oh, I'm on the text bit. So I'm going to go unselect it and then reselect it. Can't I just get the, I want to format, oh, okay. So see over here, I got to get my pen so you can see what I'm doing. See over here, it says, on the right side, it says text options. We're editing the text options. We actually want to edit the shape options. So you just click that and then get a drop down. I'm going to hit no fill and no line. So then I can go back to the text options and I can mess around with the text there. So I'm going to go ahead and keep it black because that's what we're going to do. I'm going to go find a new font. So in this case, I dragged and clicked and this box popped up, or we could do it from the home screen up top and basically just go through here and find a font that you like. So, I mean, we can test a couple out. Oh, you know what? I need to type it first. So it says, did I just try to rename the font? That was amazing. So let's try that again. So I'm going to select all the text. I'm going to go home. There we go. So I'm selecting all the text, and I'm going to type in what I want to do. So today I'm going to do boom. Actually, yeah, we're going to do it in caps. Boom. Create dot TV. And then I'm going to go home. I'm going to center this just to make it easier to manipulate. I'm going to center it. Oh, that's the wrong button. Where's the button that does this? Things change from program to program. I don't think this one matters too much, so we'll just leave it as it is. So now I can go and make it bigger. So you'll notice it starts to fill out the space, and then at some point it expands. So I'm going to just expand it out here to my edges. And I don't like that font. It's going to be too much cutting. Now remember, you can use pretty much any font you want, but the trick is that if you do, you're going to have to cut every last little serif, these little points here. Let's zoom in a bit. Zoom in so we just got that 5 by 5. You're going to have to cut everything. So you don't want to do that with these little serifs unless you really, really care about it. It's going to be hard to spray paint those too. So I'm going to actually go with this one. I wandered through and found one I liked earlier. I think this one's going to be fun and easy. So now what you might ask at this point is, well, Canon, what are you gonna, how are you gonna do this, you know? How are you gonna make it so I can get through the insides? Well, we're gonna modify this font so that it's a more stenciled font so that we don't have to cut out insides. We don't have to stick up the middles, so it'll all be one thing. It'll be one big shape, and it won't cause you problems. So there's multiple ways to do this. I think we're gonna make it tall, so we're going to actually take this, go Control X. So I'm cutting, and let's undo that. So I'm actually going to control drag this guy. So I'm going to have two of them. So I control drag, you can copy and paste two, and I'm going to get rid of that stuff. So what that's going to allow me to do is place this on the page where I want. So then I'll get rid of that one, get rid of that one. I could go with 2 lines. We're gonna try it with 3. So I'm gonna hold down Control first, and then if I can, let's try it again. Select this one. So I'm gonna hit Control and I'm gonna drag. There we go, perfect. And delete that. And now, if I go get rid of that, then I've got 3 separate independent bits that I can mess with here. So the reason I want to do that is because it gives me a wider range of what I'm able to, how I'm able to manipulate it. And it's not going to do the automatic spacing that these programs do. So I don't like their automatic spacing. Come on, where are you? Come on. There we go. I may have to. There we go. So I don't like their automatic spacing. They do a bad job. It's harder to manipulate than it should be. You'll see me messing around with how things are are handled here. So I like this. This is not too bad. I'm gonna mess with it just a little bit. So the deal is you just mess with it and you get something that you think looks good. I was originally thinking of going big with that right there. But now that I see it, you know, I'm less enamored of it. So I'm just gonna hit the back button a few times. And now I feel pretty good about that. And you want to really kind of nail down the design of the text before you go do what I'm about to do. Is that really the difference between those two? 48 and 72. Wow, that's quite a jump, guys. I want something in between there. Let's try 60. So just manipulating the text in this way. I have to remember that I have to cut it still. So that is good, but it's small. And I'm wondering if I can... Oh, see, this is a bugger. What you'll find is that working with Word, if you're a graphic designer, is genuinely terrible. But I can't, let's see, I can't make this too big, but I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. So I'm going to stretch what I can. It's just going to be easier to cut if it's bigger. It's just going to be more fun to work with. I need to go in and give these lines. If I were going to work with this much longer, I would actually make lines around the edges so that I could find those edges easier to manipulate this. All right, let's see. Let's go. Let's do it one more time. All right, because here's what I'm thinking. I've got a plate. This goes in the middle of the plate. I have to be able to carve out the edges. And I'm just trying to line up. There we go. Those things in the right direction. So one of the tricks for graphic design is moving in and out. So if you move in and out a little bit, you can start to see how things look. I'm actually going to turn that off because anything that's on there is going to affect how you see it. It's going to affect the way it looks. So that line around there is actually going to distract you. So now I've got to think, okay, how is this going to look when I stencil it? Would that be better? Would that be worse? I like that. I'm gonna stick with that. So this TV might be a little small. Let's go next stuff up. Did I do it? All right. Yeah, I think that was a good spot. So now you're asking, because you asked earlier, now I'm going to tell you, how do we make this so this is actually a stencil versus, what's the word I'm looking for? How do we make it a stencil versus, you know, just text? How do I make it so I can actually cut it out and have something solid? So here we go. Basically, you're going to do this. You can go in here and insert a shape. You can insert a box. Really, you could do any shape, but a box is going to be easiest. I'm going to draw that box. I'm going to change it so it has a white fill and no line. And that is going to be the base shape for what I'm doing. Now, what I'm doing is I'm using it to cut out a space where we can get into these middle shapes, because I don't want these floating middle shapes. I won't be able to have a single stencil that way. So I'm going to cut out these middle shapes and hopefully come up with something that looks good. Now, I messed with this and I have to make this smaller so it's usable everywhere else too. I messed with this earlier to see what the best way to do it would be. And this is, oh, see, I'm not holding it. You have to hold down Control before you move it. And I'm holding Shift to just move it straight up. All right, and already, see, I have a box that I can do it now. Again, I have to hold down Control first. I'm gonna move this over here. Now that opens up that shape, but I'm gonna play with how things look a little bit. Sometimes consistency really helps. So if now I'm gonna hold down, I'm actually gonna hold down Shift so this goes exactly, and then I'm gonna grab this one, hold down Control and Shift, so it goes over there. You could just copy paste it and then move it around. Control and Shift is really exact, makes it go where it needs to go. So, oops. So M over here doesn't need one, but I'm gonna add it anyway. Oops. I'm gonna add it anyway because I want like this consistent broken up text idea. So same with the C over here. I'm gonna go over here, make that a little bigger so it's easier to work with. And then you see how that's gonna start to come together? So rather than just having lines in the ones I need lines in, that missing part of the letter becomes an element. It becomes a part of the design. Oops. Grab the whole thing. So I'm going to do the same thing to this E. And I don't have to do it everywhere. I don't have to do it everywhere. I'm just making it consistent with the rest of the design. And let's see. I'm going to go do it to this A over here. I'm going to grab this one and drag it over, Shift drag it over to this E. I'm going to grab this one, oops, and Shift drag it over to this T. I'm actually going to move it down a little bit because I kind of like the square that it's making. And then almost done. I'm going to grab one of these up here because they're smaller. Oops. I'm hitting Control Z to go back. All right, hold down the Control button. Beautiful. And then beautiful. And I think that needs to be a little smaller on both of those. All right, that is not half bad. It's not the worst thing I've done today, actually. So there we have that, and it's pretty much ready for print, but I'm just gonna zoom in and out a couple times at it, see what I like, what I don't like, what I wish I do. Maybe I need to add another bit and piece here, so let's see what happens. And now it's just like experimenting. So what happens if I mess with that A a little bit, you know? And this is where the buttons come in nice. So you can actually go up here to the top and hit Control Z. Do I like it better? Here, let's go deselect that. Do I like that one or that one? And I go ahead and stick with this because I like the way it's breaking up the text. I'm actually going to do the same thing with the R here. So it's doing this funky thing where it's breaking up the text. It's making you wonder what the heck's going on. But so we're going to break this text. That's not what I wanted. I'm going to actually just drag this one up here. So I don't have to be consistent with where I put my my lines here. I'm gonna see if I can. I have to tell you, when you're used to the professional programs, going back to Word is terrible. Let's see. It just doesn't. Nothing works the way it's supposed to work. Nothing works. So, like I said, it's not the worst thing I've done today. And it's a stencil, and we just wanted something simple, something straightforward. Now, I've had a debate around this about what I'm going to do next, because I wanted to keep it simple, but at the same time, it would be fun to add a little bit of flair to it. So maybe what we'll do. Yeah, I think we're gonna do it. So what could possibly go wrong? What we're gonna do here is we're going to. Oh, it'd be so easy in Illustrator. Can I copy this whole thing and make a second page? Let's see if I can, because I don't know if I can. Maybe what I'll do is hit Control A, copy, and then what I'm going to do here. Okay, so here's what you need to know. Text wrapping in Word says basically how this object reacts with the text that's on the main part of the page. So I'm going to try to do this. Make this just go in front of it. Make this go in front of it. Make this go in front of it. So it's just floating on the top. Now, in theory, no, see, it's not going to let me do that. Fixed position on page. Let's try that. This is something you don't have to worry about in. Oh no! See, it moved all my white things when I did that. So I'm wondering if I can. I can't. I would have to go select each and every one of those individually, and there's no way. To do. Oh, something's messing up now. There we go. Whew. Thought I was never going to be able to grab that. All right, so if I do the same thing here, where I grab every single one of those. Someone ought to do it in some semblance of order, right? No, we'll just do it randomly and see if we can get all of them. Oh. Some things you learn. I'm actually wondering if I could have, if I had started with that, if it would have copy pasted so to all the other ones. Did I do that one already? Nope. Now I'm curious. These actually, okay, these are, it is taking. All right, so just selecting every single one of these. I'm glad there weren't that many. It's so fun for you guys to watch. All right, so now if I go up here, hit enter. All right, now I'm going to be able to get myself a second page. Oops. Hit Control A. Oh, really? Tab. No. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. Which might save my butt, because quite frankly, oh, hey, look at that. It'll do 3 pages. Can I get it to do, let's see if I can delete all the, there we go, 2 pages, woohoo! So, now I'm going to go in here and I'm going to do a solid line, and I'm going to make that solid line much larger. Yeah. And same with this one, solid line. Solid line, and might as well just set to 5. And then I'm going to go get rid of all of these. I'm going to just shift select. So I'm holding down the shift key. I'm selecting them all one at a time. All right, and deleting that. Now I'm going to go here, here. Oh, you know what? That one needed to be a bit bigger. Here. That's fine. We'll just do it one at a time. All right, so I'm going to fill those in with black. Beautiful. So with any luck, that didn't change anything, and I'll be able to make an outline. So this is going to be a 2-part stencil. We'll print both of these, so it's just going to print that black on that first one and the black on the second one. I'll do a cutout here, and with this, what I'll do is I'll just leave the middles out of this larger one, and it should be able to create a nice stencil. And I can do multicolored. I can pull some other stunts with this. So, all right, I see no reason not to print this. So let's do it. File, print. Oh, I wonder. Oh, guys. We'll see if it works. It might not work. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. So I'm going to go on break. And for a minute. and fix this problem. Yay. So, yeah. My printer, I just reset up my whole Wi-Fi and my printer is not, switch over here. My printer is not set up correctly. So I get to go upstairs and set up my printer. And you guys will probably bail on me because that's how it goes. No, you guys, I trust you. Right. So I've got to go reset that up. So I'm going to transition you over this lovely thing here and get you some music while we're waiting. What do you want to listen to? I was gonna have sound today, but here we go. Let's just do what you want to. Please don't be polite, 'cause I like your attitude. Let's forget about a curfew, 'cause all that is stuck in my head. It's me and you, both speeding, my heart is racing, but I'm not sure I wanna place it, 'cause it only does this with you. Our bodies meet, I can feel the tension, move us into the next time. For the thrill of it, mess around for the thrill of it. Don't stop now, never let this end. For the thrill of it, we can have with no regret. We make out for the thrill of it, mess around for the thrill of it. Don't stop now, never let this end.
would say we were good together. I would say we had fun, but our trails will never run forever. Something else is on your mind, like everything that's good in life always comes to an end. We're letting go, drifting apart. There's no use trying to pretend. And I know that it's over. Got the look on your face. It's too hard to explain, but the worst is the pain when you pronounce my name and you say, Gloria, please don't cry for me. Oh, Gloria, please don't cry for me. Yeah. I can hurt you like you hurt me too. Then we make love when we are done. Breaking up and then get back together. Oh, you're the trigger to my gun. But like everything that's bad in life, it's come to an end. We're letting go, drifting apart. There's no use trying to pretend. And I know that it's over. Got the look on your face. It's so hard to explain, but the worst is the pain when you pronounce my name. Gloria, please don't cry for me. Don't cry for me. Gloria, please. Oh, Gloria, please don't cry for me. Why do everything that's good in life always come to an end? We're letting go, drifting apart. There's no use trying to pretend. I know that it's over. Got a look on your face. But the worst is the pain when you pronounce my name. And you say, Gloria, please don't cry for me. Oh, Gloria, please don't cry for me. Don't cry for me. Oh, yeah. I would try not, yeah, to cry. Gloria, Gloria, please, when you pronounce my name. Oh, Gloria, please don't cry for me. Yeah.
I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. Get up off of that thing. Shake and make you feel better. All right, sweet. So not only did I get it to work, I actually got my printer to hook up to the Wi-Fi, but as soon as I did, it printed out my stuff. So I'm just gonna switch over here and we're gonna cut these. Hopefully they fit on the plate, otherwise we're gonna be able to have to make them smaller. So I'm gonna bring you guys over here. Oh, don't mind me at all. Where's my button? All right. Let me get you guys down here. So yeah, my drink there make a lot of loud noises here. There we go. Look at that. What could possibly go wrong now? So let's see how I did. The only problem, we might make it. We might make it. All right. So, you know, I could just freehand this, but why? Just do a quick cut there. Yeah, sure. Freehanding, here we go. We'll find out whether or not I made a mistake in just a minute. All right. And then we'll cut this corner off for good measure. And, oh, sorry about the bump. We're gonna stick it right here to see if it's gonna fit. I think it's gonna fit. It's gonna be a little close to the edge. I'm not terribly upset about that. All right, so there it is in the minimum plate. A couple ways I could do this. I could use glue stick. I haven't tried it though, so I don't know if it'll actually stick down. I'm gonna try it right now because that'll be awesome. We're trying things live, kids. Yes. You know, they say not to do any technical demonstration without full tests and without, you know, checking it all out first. I would now, just so you know, I would not normally use this, but I'm just using kind of what you have around the house. So that's the theme on today's show is what do you have around the house that we can just use to make a stencil, just easy, quick. Because otherwise I would normally do this in Illustrator or Photoshop, and then I would normally pop it onto a nice piece of thick paper, maybe a glossy or something like that. Hey, look at that. It's working pretty well. I did not know if that was gonna work. Dang, that's great. The only problem that I see right now is that this one is much bigger than the other one. So when I go to do this, it's going to be a little too close to the edge of the plate. So I'm actually going to cut this quite a bit closer. Woo! I think I got too close. I'll stay a little farther away. So I'm hoping when I'm all done, and I haven't even tested this. Look at me. I am just like, when I do the video for YouTube, you guys will be like, oh, that's amazing. You just did that. But, you know, you guys, the people who watch this live are going to be like, no, that idiot didn't test it out. He just went for it. And, you know, sometimes you got to do that. You just got to go for it, man. There's no reason not to. I mean, that's what I had to do in the test, and now, you know, now I've just got video of it. So if I screw up, I've got video of it. So let's see. That is gonna go on. Oh, that's gonna be awesome. You guys don't even know how good I got it right now. So I'm just gonna take. Now I'm saying that. So most people have a glue. If you've done any crafting, you've got a glue stick around the house. I was just gonna use tape, but I felt like if I taped the edges and then tried to cut the middle, it was just gonna screw it up. Like I would start cutting and the middle would not be let's see, the middle wouldn't do what I wanted it to do. So this is actually working great. A glue stick, super cheap. Oh, look at that. I'm coming up with, I got some of the toner off, and that's just fine. All right, check it out. Which one do we cut first? Should we cut the one we care about first? Or should I start with the one that I don't care about? These are questions that we ask ourselves. Let's see. All right, so here we go. The trick with cutting thicker stuff, I'm just gonna go for it, man. The trick with cutting thicker stuff is that you want to do multiple cuts. You don't want to do one big cut. Even though it feels faster, it just leads to more screw-ups. It just leads to trouble in your life. I have a feeling that this is going to take forever. I also have a feeling that my lighting sucks. Hopefully that doesn't blow it out. Now I got shadows. That's okay. I've had worse. Get a little shine right there. That's better. Now I can see. Maybe. Is the video freaking out while I'm doing this? Okay. Sorry guys. I've never done this one before. You guys are getting it raw. And I can actually feel when I go through the mat. Now, you want to cut through, if you're going to cut through, see, there we go. I'm cutting it good. You want something underneath that you're not going to ruin. In a second, we'll talk about about X-Acto knives, because I'm going to have to do a warning for the YouTube channel anyway. I might as well give you guys the same warning. Look at that. I feel like happy little teas. Happy little teas. And if you're going to make a mistake on the inside of the tea, the part you're cutting out. See, look at that, guy. This is going to take forever. That's the one thing about making stencils, is the cutting thing. Now, if I wanted to make a lot of stencils, I would probably wimp out and get myself one of those little machines that does it, or a laser cutter. I have a friend with a laser cutter. I want a laser cutter. If ever any of you want to donate a laser cutter, I will take one. I am not shy. So we're just slowly carving this out. feel like I'm totally gray today. And I wish I could zoom in. I'm really at my limit here with what I can do. You guys got to be careful. I'm going to start singing. All right, and then just come around and I'll cut those from that side. Look at that. One letter. Ah, ah, ah. Again, like I said, it's better to take multiple. Excuse me. It's better to take multiple cuts so they don't screw up. I'm gonna have to get myself a better camera so I can zoom in. Ah, you see what I did there? I tried to go too deep too fast. So I just need to back off a little bit. The system is you do all the vertical lines first, and then you can turn it and do all the other lines next. Just taking it easy. I feel like we should be listening to something. All right. Here's what we'll do. You ready? I'm going to turn on music. And you guys can chill out and listen to the groove. And I will do voiceover for... Oh, did you see I missed that one? That little nick right there. I missed it. Yeah, let's do some music. I will do a voiceover, and I'll still talk, but and tell me in the comments if my sound goes awry. Dang it. Dang it. Oh, it opens up a new one. Let's go see what this is. We're gonna switch. I gotta see if you guys can actually hear any of that. mess with the sound here for a second. Tell me if the audio is wacky. I couldn't hear it, but it seemed okay. Actually, what I can do. I always seem to have trouble with the audio on Twitch. I'm gonna mess with it here in a second when it catches up. Woo. Look at me getting out of the lines. I feel like I'm going super slow. Probably because I am. Alright, now it's time to go check the audio. Oh no! Alright, now I can hear what you hear. And I don't have all the distraction in the background. Oh. So I'm slowly learning that I want to cut these edges as I'm cutting. I mean corners. All right, down to business. Got some really small I'm gonna have to get a shorter tripod here. Now maybe you'll be able to see what I'm doing a little bit better. Not the cutting is that exciting, guys. Come on. Nice. Go in here and hit those corners a little bit better. Maybe I'll get that to pop out. And my paper is peeling up a little bit, but that's fine. It's just on the A, so. Guess I could go cut the rest of the A out first. I'm getting a little outside of the lines. I gotta learn to press a little bit more at the beginning of that cut. Have I not cut that yet? Oh my gosh. Oopsie. This paper plate, I kind of like it. It's actually been kind of forgiving because I can get a little slice, but it's gonna heal it a little bit more than if I were slicing a piece of paper. And in case you just tuned in, the whole point of the paper plate is just so I can reuse this thing multiple times. And because it's something everyone has around the house. Like, And hopefully I don't have to go put a band-aid on. Come on out of there. You don't want to stay there. You want to go be free. You want to be somewhere else. There we go. There we go. Next. We'll see how much I like it when I actually go to spray paint something. So this is where I think a good spray adhesive would have been better than the glue stick. You can see that paper's coming up. And that's fine because it's cut out now, but that wouldn't have happened with spray adhesive. Flip it around here and get this corner. So, if this is your first time joining me, or you've joined me before, you got to check out my YouTube channel. I'm starting to actually put videos up now. This one will come up. I'll do a shorter version of this later. I have a bunch of streams on there, but they're gonna go away before not too long. I'll still stream on YouTube like I'm doing now. I just won't record it. There are people who watch a stream, but they won't watch. I don't think they'll watch it later. So, I mean, I could leave it on there, but kind of nice to relax and just do some cutting once in a while. Just do some of this stuff. See, I made my mistake on the inside. That's good. I'm gonna screw up there. Screw up on the part that's going away. So yeah, naturally this is gonna take a little bit longer than just a piece of paper. But the end result, and you could just do this with a piece of paper. If you're only going to use it once or twice, and you don't have a ton of detail, you could just do this with a piece of paper. Pretty easy. Or a nice thick piece of paper. You could do, I mean, pretty much anything that's got a good weight to it that's going to last. I mean, you could use cardstock. You can use glossy printer paper for all we care, you know, it's just... If you make it out of something a little thicker, it's just going to last longer if you want to mark multiple things. You make it once, you know, it's a one-time use thing, that's awesome too. I wonder how that'll be. Zoom in a little bit more. It might get a little fuzzy, but eh. Let's go cut this guy and see if it actually works. Oh, whatever. Alright, back to work. Back to work. Now, I don't know how well spray paint's gonna pick this tiny stuff up. We'll find out. We'll see how well this works. And that little tiny detail right there, you wouldn't be able to do this on a much more detailed cut, but I just wanted to show you can pretty much do it in anything you can cut with a Sharpie. But I do have a little bit of separation in the layers on this paper blade on that one little point right there. Now, you'll see right here, I did a bad thing. When I was designing it, I wasn't paying too much attention. And those two right there, that corner and that T, are a little close to each other. So I'm actually just going to fix that in the cut. I'll back off here a little bit and give those two a little bit more space. And I won't match it exactly on this other side, but I'll give it a little bit, so they're not too uneven. So I'm slowly getting used to this. cutting out this paper plate. I'm gonna go to the back here and just try not to cut through and get my finger. Should I do my PSA about cutting with razor blades? Let's clean that guy up a little bit. So I don't know if you can see this. Let's see if it'll, oh, is it gonna zoom? Anyway, there's some little edges that need to be cleaned up, and I'll go in there and just clean up with the razor blade. There we go. Now this wouldn't be nearly as hard on a piece of paper. I just had a terrible realization, which was my terrible realization was that once I'm done with this, I have a whole nother one to cut. That one will be faster, but it won't be that much faster. There we go. What? Yeah, skip that one.
Do you miss me at all? Do you think about the things we used to do? No, you couldn't stand tall. So why didn't you call? So many years gone by, but I think about you all the time. Looks like you're changing and all. But why didn't you call? Something in the air, always something in the air. Inexplicable, I can feel it in the air. Can you feel me?
Now we got some curves to deal with, kids. Hope my cutting game is on now.
Do you miss me at all? Do you think about the things we used to do?
Someone out there's thinking,
No, you couldn't stand
man, I'm glad this guy isn't a surgeon.
why didn't you call? So many years gone by, but I think about you all the time. Looks like you're changing and all. But why didn't you call?
Nice, that actually worked.
Something in the air, always something in the air. Inexplicable, I can feel it in the air. Can you feel me?
At this point, it would have been easier to make a sticker. Which actually, we might do. That's a good idea. That would be a good video. That's so straightforward. It's so easy to make a sticker these days. If you got a decent printer, or even if you don't. Now, I'm going to screw that up if I keep messing with it. Ah! Screwed up, didn't I? Alright, where am I at? Sweet. You guys are like, stop it. Now, this I'm going to show you a design flaw. As soon as I can get it out. So this little tab that's sticking out in the R right here, that's a little design flaw. I could have connected that here as well, or up here, and that would have been much more sturdy. As it is, I think it'll work. What could possibly go wrong, right? Unless one of my kids comes and tears it out. Oh, see. So I'm not pressing through, I'm just cutting through. The difference is that if I was pushing through, then I would probably slip through and cut my hand. But that's not what I'm doing. Well, now I am, but that's because my finger's not on the other side. Pressing a little too hard right there. I should have just made a cut rather than... It's easier to pull toward yourself with one of these things than it is to pull in some right angles. So see again, I'm not pushing, I'm just cutting. I'm just dragging that along there. A little pressure, but not enough to slip through. And whew, we might make it. All right, one more. Well, almost missed that bit. Guys, you're supposed to be watching out for me here. You're supposed to be telling me when I screw up. I should do a bomb. I should do another one. And we'll demo how to, maybe I'll do that one in PowerPoint or something. I'll demo how to do a cutout, how to mess with the things. So sometimes some people just want to be able to use their tools that they have, you know. They don't want to have to go buy Photoshop and learn how to use it. And I can train them how to do the same exact thing in Word. Not as easy, or not as easy for me, but music died. Let's see what this does. I have no idea what this is going to be. I'm just taking a wild guess on this music here. There we go. Oops. I'm getting a little heavy on some of these cuts. That one is sadly going to show. try it this way. Clean up that corner a bit. Oh, hopefully not too much. Ooh. So close! 3 letters. We can see how close I am. Let's see. Yeah, I can see where I got a little excited with one cut and screwed it up. I don't know if I'll be able to clean that up a little bit. Not bad. These O's are going to be a little more tricky. Alright, I'm gonna have to lighten up on my pressure a little bit so I can do this. So I can trace this a little bit better. My hand does not want to do it, by the way. Now I can see which parts. There we go. I got my finger on the other side of this, so I'm trying really hard not to cut through with any pressure. Don't do that. It's a bad idea. End up with a injury. Minjury. It's a minor injury. Closer, closer, closer. All right. Oops, did you see me slip? So instead of following it, I'll come from the other direction and make sure it gets cut out the right way. I'm gonna poke my eye out. All right. So close. This is probably going to be the most complex one, and I got these tiny little tabs sticking in here. This is going to be annoying. Here, instead of... I'm going to cut right through that. They could have done a better job there too. And so we'll just cut that out as a rectangle. Let's see. Just getting in my way. So I can do the same thing here. I can cut this rectangle just straight through. And that will give me a little bit more accuracy rather than having to take that corner out. When I come around, I'll just be able to come straight through. Got a little tab hanging on there. Get out of there, you tab. I'll do the same thing right here. Just cut this little rectangle square piece right there. I'll go ahead and cut past it. That'll give me some accuracy there that I wouldn't have had before. So I've never tried this before. I'm making basically relief cuts like you would in wood. And then when I come back, I'll just take those out. I'm having a little glue problem right there. I'm gonna have to clean up my edges too. All right, that tab is mostly out. I'm going to cut that little corner before I get too carried away. Same here, I'll cut this little corner, or this little curve. All right, there's that going. And that tab is done. Alright, let's go ahead and get this guy out of here. Okay, he's not cut yet, so I'll just lightly cut that curve. And you can see that the glue is, I didn't glue that part very well, so it's starting to come up. Clean up that edge. Did I skip the O? That's funny. Got a whole nother O, guys. And that is okay. Because this B will be done. Alright, the B was B for brutal. Nah, it wasn't that bad. Just gonna go up here and clean up these edges from the back a little bit. Hopefully not screw up. Nice. Nice. It's looking good. A couple bits I want to clean up here. I'm gonna put that B. All right, 1-0 to go. Alright. I'm going to cut it the same way I did that B. I'm going to cut relief cuts. So when I come around here, now, if I was cutting a crap load of stencils, I would totally get a machine for this. I get a vinyl cutter and just cut stencils with it. That would be awesome. That might be the best way to go, especially one of those that have a roll. So you could just cut. You could actually cut vinyl and use the vinyl as a stencil, which would be cool. It would be a one-time use deal, but... That's what I need. Need a vinyl cutter. And a laser cutter. And a CNC machine. It's so close. Oh, come on, we're so close. Woo! All right, just peel that off. Not bad. Not bad at all. All right. How fast do you think we can do this one? Welcome to the channel. If you're just joining us, we're doing cheap, easy stencils. So let me just cut this guy out, and we're gonna cut this one out because this is gonna be an outline for that one. So in theory, well, they won't line up because I'm lazy. Oh, is that gonna work? I mean, illustrated this would have been easy, but let's see. I don't know if that's gonna work. But what could possibly go wrong? So, debating how to do this. Alright, here's what I'm gonna do. Because I feel like this isn't gonna be enough of an outline as it's cut. I'm actually gonna freehand around it because I want this to be an outline for this one. So rather than doing a brand new set, I'm just gonna freehand. So I could actually make a line. I could make myself a pattern to follow. Here we go. There's a pencil. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a little thicker outline. We'll go all the way across with that one. And let's see. Don't stop. This will give it a freehand feel. Don't worry, it'll be better when I'm done. Seriously. Doing it in pencil so I can modify it if I don't like what I do here. Look at that. See? It's not bad. We could just cut out... Ooh, this will be so much easier than cutting out each one of those letters. I'll tell you what, buddy. I'm gonna go straight right there. Kind of going up the side of the plate. It'll create an effect, I'm sure. And we'll do, I'm actually going to follow that line right there because that'll be interesting. You ready? Here we go. So now all of a sudden it'll be stylized, and we've done this so fast. Oh. This was a good decision if just, you know what, I'm modifying it slightly as I cut it. So I'm kind of imagining the shape it's gonna make, right? And as long as I screw up on the inside, then that will be... And I'm gonna go to like a little crooked here, but I need a, you know, I want to go right here. I need a straight edge, man. All right, we're gonna just use the mental straight edge, the imaginary straight edge. Oh yeah. So I can cut into that. Oops. Alright, just going a little crooked on this one. So I'm going to add details in some spots, but really it's going to be a combination of these big movements with these small details. Do I want to cut there? We'll see what happens, and I can always fix that one. I can always cut that the rest of the way across. I can't. Let's see. Well, all right. Now, that will create an outline. Well, that'll be interesting. Yeah. Maybe we'll cut a little bit more. It doesn't register exactly. But here we'll create a little shadow and I'm going to modify this. All right. Cool beans. Now we just have to try it. Hey Isaac, how's it going? If you're still watching. All right, I think we're done. We just got to find something to spray. What are we gonna spray? I'm sure there's something, right? That's a good question, Isaac. I just wanted to do a quick stencil for people who don't have like Photoshop and Illustrator at home. So, and to show you, basically you could make it out of anything. And the idea was just to have it so it would be reusable. So the paper plate makes it so you can use it multiple times because it's got that plastic coating on it. And you can just, after you're done, you can just throw it up there and store it. As far as stenciling goes, I was thinking of using it on stuff in the shop, and you know, if I make something, we could use it. I could use it as a signature or something like that. Yeah, it's more just to say, you know, make a stencil, make it really easy, and then I'll shorten this video. Like after the live stream's over, I'll actually just post, hopefully later today. You know, it's only 12:30. We'll probably do it. Later today, I'll post a shortened video showing, you know, how to do this in Word, because that's what I did it in, and then cutting and using these things. I'm excited to see what he's coming up with. Like, when's your video? When your video's coming out? I'm ready. I need something to watch. We gotta go find something. What am I gonna spray with this? How am I gonna get the camera out of here? I have a long cord, but it's not that long. Bet you I can get out the door though. See, backlogging is a good idea. I'm just like, let's get it out the door. I've actually got, I'm just doing this one so I can post it later, but I've actually got a couple of their videos recorded. I just gotta edit things, and that's the trouble. Getting those things edited and getting them out. I've got one that's all recorded for next week. Oh yeah, so Premiere has been interesting. So I made myself a template. Like Grant was doing, and that, I don't know, we'll see if it helps. But I went on to the one place and got myself a good logo sting, and I'm happy with it. I got on Epidemic and started putting songs on stuff, and I'm happy about that. It's been good, man. Like, the last few days have been a lot of fun. Hopefully it'll keep going. All right, let's see. Well, there's no reason to point that at me or that there anymore. So, yeah. So, need something to spray paint. I gotta look for something to spray paint. Now that that's done, I mean, I could spray on it. Let's see. I can spray paint this. Let's see. There's a sticker on the front, but I could spray paint the back of it. Let's see. What would that look like? Should we do it? We should totally do it. That'll be easy. Probably lose sound, but let's do it. Oh, let's go. Let's go. Set up OBS here. Oh, now you're getting to see the behind the scenes freaking mess. So, webcams are great and all, but they have to be plugged in, which is problematic when you want to go somewhere else. So we get a little bit of a knot, which means until I get it untied, we're not going anywhere. So, here we go. You're gonna take the journey. You've never done this before. You've never done this before. Unless you've done the human knot, you've never been the part of the rope. Here we go. Sound effects, guys. Don't get sick. Don't get sick. Here we go again. Oh no. This is better than all those biking videos, you know. All right, let's see how far we can get it. It's only 15 feet long, but it might get us there. La, da, 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 da. Taking a trip. Taking a trip. Ooh, I didn't know that swung into there. Alright. Let's get us close enough. This will get us to the outside. Let's point it out of view. Oh, this is a good idea. Classic. All right. Let's go. Oh no. Am I spinning out? Stall. And that's working. Here we go. Huh. Shouldn't be that bad. All right, let's see. Oh, sweet. Come on. Shake, shake, shake. Shake body out. Shake, shake, shake. Shake it off. Alright, we're gonna test it on this first. Get a hook for this. You thought I was gonna go straight with that milk, but you were wrong. Let's not do that today. Look, he's using any gloves or something. Yeah, it's not the worst thing I've done today. Now that I'm looking at it, I actually want to cut that right there. I wonder how close I can get my microphone. I'll just yell. Not now, but in a second. Here goes. The paint is dry, but there we go. Yeah. Do it again. Yeah, a little close to that. Cool. Okay, got a little bit underneath it, but I'm not terribly upset about that. It's just the yeah, that'll be great. Yeah. So the stencil's not quite big enough, but that's okay. All right, let's rough this guy up. I'm just gonna area clean it off. See what's happening. This is what happens when you get in a hurry. You want to get stuff done. You gotta be patient. This. You don't want sprayed. All right. finger. One should be wearing gloves. And now for the favorite part of the day, watching paint dry. So right now I've just got a primer on there. I will probably put red on top of that. Primer is just to make the red pop a little more. Back it up with white first. Let's see. Did I turn off my... I did. Oh, no, I didn't. Let's see what this is. We're going 2x2 with gloves of blue here. Someone got smart and broke out the snow. actually sliding around on that paper plate as I'm trying to hold it down. This guy's just a touch tacky, he should be fine. And we don't have any stuff on the back of this. Test this guy right here. Oh, that's not bad at all. Here. I like just the stencil by itself. Don't touch it. Don't touch it. Don't touch it. Drop it. Don't do it. Over here. We gotta do this one. Let's do this one, but I'm gonna do it. A smart man would have needed himself a registration mark.
breathing outside, a little bit high on the feeling. Can't seem to focus. In the corner of my best friend's sofa, you were getting buzzed on rum and cola. Brave enough yet just to talk to you. Not a smooth talker under pressure. Sweaty palms ain't making it much better. Something about you feels so special. Pretty up from the
Waiting
minute
for
that I
me.
met you.
Die! Don't touch it! Don't touch it. Little tappy still.
Smoking outside, trying to get your attention. You make me nervous. In the corner of my best friend's sofa, you were getting buzzed on rum and cola. Wasn't brave enough yet just to talk to you. Not a smooth talker under pressure. Sweaty palms ain't making it much better. Something about you feels so special. Pretty up from the minute that I met you.
Alright, are you ready for it?
I know that we just met the other night,
Alright, I think I'm going light.
but I can't get you off my mind. Not a smooth talker under pressure. Sweaty palms ain't making it much better. Something about you feels so special. Pretty up from the minute that I met you.
Ah! I stuck a little. Alright!
This is the hour, the darkest place. Dante's Inferno, the devil's maze. It's a good world, good world gone bad.
Not the worst thing I've done. I like the actual white bit. Like that bit. This works for me. Man, I get to go mark stuff. Like, wander around and that'll be awesome. stencil. You probably can't hear me very well until I walk in here. That's a stencil just from a paper plate using Word. I mean, pretty easy, pretty straightforward. Nothing too difficult. It was a lot of fun. I'm done. If you guys have any questions, we may do another. We may do another video some other time and do. This has been honestly like a ton of fun to get this done. When I went to look at it, when I went to put this project together, it was really one of those things like, okay, I'll just go make a stencil, and then I was like, no, because you know anyone can tell you how to make a stencil in Photoshop or Illustrator. I was like, let's just do it with whatever anyone would have, right? You know, if you got a word processor, if you've got some spray paint and an X-Acto knife or razor blade, I mean, you're done. You could do that with a piece of paper. You wouldn't have to use a paper plate. You could do that with any number of things. Just cut something out. You got a thin piece of plastic, like that. You know, it would work really well if you wanted a permanent one. Ooh, this is a good idea. If you've seen the, the cutting boards, they have a thin plastic cutting board that's just like really thin. You could do it out of that if you had one you really liked, and that would last forever. I'm trying to think what else you could do it out of. Just lots of stuff, and that wouldn't cost you much. They sell them at big box stores for practically nothing. I'm trying to think what else you could do it out of, but honestly, like anything that you can sit there and cut, if it's not going to absorb water too much, you'll be able to use it. You'll be able to use it multiple times. Isaac's asking, it's amazing. What kind of laptop you're looking for a new one to stream on? So I bought this laptop 5 years ago. Wait, what year is it now? Yeah, I bought this laptop about 5 years ago. It works. I bought it for maybe $500. It's a Toshiba. I actually tore out the old hard drive and put in an SSD. It was starting to get slow. So I can't necessarily recommend this one. I honestly think like if you get a good deal and you spend about $600 these days on a laptop, you should be able to stream from it depending on what you're doing. If you're gaming, not so much. But if you are gaming and you can, if you have two, you can actually get a connector between the two that will feed the video from one into the other. And so you can stream from one laptop and play on an Xbox or a gaming machine of some sort. It works pretty well as long as you've got decent Wi-Fi. The processing on that doesn't take that much work. Streaming takes some bandwidth and whatnot, but it's not as big as the programs you're actually using. I've found that if I get a little processor heavy on some of my programs, that it will bog down a little bit. And it bogged down today, you saw that with the video. And that's as much my internet connection. I've got to get a switch and wire up everything actually Ethernet wired versus just using Wi-Fi. I'm out in the middle of the country. I'm out in the country, so oh, there's a mic here. I'm out in the country, so it's sometimes Comcast is great, sometimes Comcast is so-so, sometimes it sucks. This screen, let's see if we can turn this a little bit this way. To answer your question, where's OBS when I need you? the lag. So this is a Cintiq. I draw on this, so just to answer your question, let's get sketchbook's fast. So I could do this in Photoshop or whatnot, but basically it's a pen input / touch input, and this will do different, if it's set up right, which it's not right now. It'll do different levels of pressure sensitivity. I don't know why it's not right now. It's probably just something in the settings. Oh, it was acting like it. No. So it'll do that. So it'll do pressure sensitivity. I'll draw on that and paint on that. That's what it is. The name, I don't know. Oh, I don't have any music right now. I can tell you what album it's on. Let's see. I will respond in the comments. Oh, it says unable to play track. It's on. Can you hear me now? That's weird. All right, thanks guys for joining me. I'm gonna go finish this up. Probably, maybe you heard it before, maybe you didn't. I don't know. We had some weird feedback going on the stream, so thanks for joining us. It was a lot of fun. Got that done. I'm listening to myself talk. That sucks. Yeah, I'm gonna go eat lunch and then edit this up. It'll be on YouTube hopefully later tonight or tomorrow, depending on how many distractions we have. All right. Peace out. Peace out. That was amazing. Yes. Peace out.